Hi, hello. In this video, we are going to understand about an important tool called hypothesis testing. And there are two important terminologies associated with hypothesis testing. One is null hypothesis, another one is alternate hypothesis. So what is this hypothesis testing? How it is going to be helpful in validating the root cause? That is what we are going to gain from this video. So first of all, hypothesis testing means it is a decision-making procedure. It's a decision-making procedure in which a claim about a difference, the difference could be in the material characteristics or difference could be in performance, right? A claim about a difference will be tested for its trueness. There you have two machines, machine number one and machine number two. And people are telling that machine number two can produce faster than machine number one. That means the production rate is different between the two machines. So whether this difference is really true or not, this question will get answered by hypothesis testing. So how do we get this question answered? We probably do an experimentation. We'll run machine one for 1 hour. Similarly, we'll run machine two for 1 hour. And then if we observe machine two could produce more product in that study period of 1 hour, then we will make a conclusion that machine 2 can produce faster than machine 1. That means based on the experimentation, a difference between two groups is validated, right? So hypothesis testing is basically a procedure to validate the difference that exists between two groups, right? So we will understand the deeper meaning of it by going through this video content. All right. So what is hypothesis testing? A claim about the difference between two or more groups is tested for its trueness in real life. Let us say you have three suppliers who are supplying, some raw material to your company. And now why are you procuring from three suppliers? Because you believe that the incoming material quality is more or less same with all the three suppliers. So you work with all the three suppliers and then you procure your raw material, isn't it? Suppose if you feel like one of the supplier, he supplies the raw material with a much better quality, probably, you will prefer working with that supplier and then cancel the contract with other two suppliers. So when you actually wanted to take a decision about the quality of the material, you will probably do an experimentation, isn't it? You will do some study with supplier 1, supplier 2, as well as supplier 3. And if the study gives a different result for different supplier, then you will probably consider one of the supplier as good, and then the other two you might cancel, isn't it? So this procedure is called hypothesis testing. So what is this procedure? A claim about the difference between two or more groups is tested by conducting an experiment for its trueness in real life, right? Just because you observed something in an experimental study, no, it no, it may not be true in real life. So you have to be very sure that whatever you observed in your experimental study, is also will also reflect in the real life. And for that, we have certain procedure and certain tools which will confirm that whatever you observed in the experimental study will also be true in the real life. Such a procedure is called hypothesis testing. Say for example, so this is the definition we understood. So hypothesis testing is a decision-making procedure in which a claim about the difference between two or more number of groups is called hypothesis testing. And it could be group 1 and group 2, or it could be a sample and a population, or it could be any number of groups, right? It could be machine 1 and machine 2. It could be factory number 1 and factory number 2, or it could be factory at north, factory at south, and factory at west. So whenever you wanted to validate, or you are in a doubt whether the difference exists between two or more group, then you can validate the difference using this statistical procedure called hypothesis testing. For example, see here, after conducting the brainstorming and the cause and effect analysis, the experts throw away a lot of inputs, isn't it? New input. And see here, these are all experts' opinion, or these are all can be considered as brainstorming result. The reaction time of a chemical process will affect the yield of the chemical process. That means if the reaction time is different, then the yield will also be different. And that is the statement, right? So that means the reaction time is suspected to affect the yield of the chemical process. So this is a statement, right? And pouring temperature affects the casting quality. And this is again another expert's opinion. And all these opinions, are they really true or not? And you can validate this statement by conducting an experimentation, which is called the hypothesis testing. So you don't have to believe all the opinion. Even if the opinions are given by the expert, you can still verify them and then you can validate them. If the opinions are found to be experimentally correct, then you can consider the opinion as fact, and then you can make changes in the process based on the expert opinion. If you are not able to validate the expert's opinion into a fact, then probably better don't make any changes based on the opinion you have received. Treat that as just opinion, and you don't have to make any changes. All right. So in order to understand hypothesis testing, you must understand these two terminology: null hypothesis and then alternate hypothesis. Basically, a hypothesis means a statement, and this statement can be of two types. One is null hypothesis, another one is alternate hypothesis. The null hypothesis is generally represented using the symbol H naught, and the alternate hypothesis is generally represented using the symbol H1 or HA. So these are the notation. So what is null hypothesis? Null hypothesis is the initial claim specified using common knowledge. When you have three suppliers, the company believes that all the three suppliers perform at the same level. So whenever you make a statement based on the common knowledge, isn't it? You have 10 machines, all same make and then same model. And what is your belief? All the 10 machines, the rate of production is same. All 10 machines will give same surface finish. So everything is same. So such a statement is called null hypothesis. We specify the statement using our common knowledge, right? Otherwise, you can also define null hypothesis as statement of no impact or statement of equality. You have 10 machines and all 10 machines are same in terms of the performance, in terms of production rate, in terms of surface finish, and all those things. So that means you can also say null hypothesis as statement of equality, statement of no change, and then statement of no difference. So always null hypothesis is to be assumed if you cannot reject it. If somebody says all the 10 machines are performing at the same level, we generally accept it, isn't it? Because they're all of the same make and then the same model, and so the performances should be same. But if somebody comes with some evidence of evidence after doing an experimentation, probably you will then reject your belief, and then the suspect on the difference will increase. So these are the ways you can define null hypothesis. And then alternate hypothesis. This is the statement that will be valid if the null hypothesis is rejected. Somebody carries an evidence, carries data based on experimentation. Now you will reject your null hypothesis, right? And then you will start believing on the experimental study. So alternate hypothesis or the statement of impact or the statement of inequality. Machine 1 production rate is different from machine 2, or machine 1 is faster than machine 2. There is an inequality, isn't it? So it's also considered a statement of change, statement of difference. Sometimes alternate hypothesis is referred to as the research hypothesis, because you will be able to make this statement only after conducting some experimentation. And so it is also referred to as research hypothesis. Now, let us understand the concept of null and alternate hypothesis with some example. I'll show you certain statement and then we will figure out whether it is null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis. The first statement, higher pouring temperature will increase porosity. That means the statement, clearly tells that when you increase the pouring temperature, the porosity will increase. That means the pouring temperature is having an impact on the porosity. Probably if the temperature is more, the porosity might increase or it can even decrease. There is a huge impact, right? So it is a statement of impact. When I say it is a statement of impact, go back to the slide, right? Statement of impact. That means it is an alternate hypothesis, right? So pouring temperature has an impact on the porosity. It's an alternate hypothesis. When you attend our training program, your knowledge level will improve. Again, this is a alternate hypothesis, isn't it? Because the more the training you attend with us and more the knowledge you gain. So the training is considered to have an impact on your knowledge, isn't it? And so that's an alternate hypothesis. Whenever a factor makes an impact on your response, on your result, then the statement should be considered alternate. Another statement, calorie consumption will affect weight gain. That means if you consume more calories, then weight gain might increase. You reduce your calories, then weight might reduce, isn't it? So calorie consumption will definitely affect the weight gain. So it's a statement of impact. Speed of the car will affect the mileage. Again, it's a statement of impact. Reaction time affect the process yield. Again, it is a statement of impact. That means all these four statements are statement of impact. And so they're all alternate hypothesis. They're all alternate hypothesis. On the other hand, when I say like this, pouring temperature has no impact on porosity. Whatever temperature you pour, the porosity is going to be same. That means, pouring temperature doesn't have any impact on the porosity. It's a statement of no impact. Calorie consumption is not responsible for the weight gain. Whether you consume more calories or you consume less calories, the weight is found to be same. That means, no impact. Calorie consumption has no impact. Again, it's a statement of no impact. Speed of the car will not affect its mileage. You drive the car at whatever speed you want, the mileage is same. If you say like this, it is again a statement of no impact. Reaction time will not affect the chemical process yield. Whatever is the amount of time you allow the chemicals to react, the final yield is going to be same. So if you carefully note all these statements are statements of no impact. The statements of no impact are called null hypothesis, right? So you can define the null hypothesis based on the impact. And another thing, based on equality, right? Now the previous example was based on impact. Now it is based on equality. When I say equality, it is like, mathematically, you will be able to put an equal to symbol. Inequality means there will be no higher than or greater than or smaller than symbol. Let us understand that. Supplier 1 deliver faster than supplier 2. That means, it is a statement of inequality. Supplier 1 deliver faster than supplier 2. That means he consumes only less time to complete a task and then, he quickly delivers. Machine 1 produces parts faster than machine 2. Again, it's a statement of inequality. Polling rate of northern region is more than the southern region. Again, it is a statement of inequality. Transaction time of vendors are not same. You have 3 vendors and transaction time are not same. They're all different, right? Probably vendor A consumes less time and vendor B consumes moderate time and vendor 3 consumes, more time. So all these 4 statements are examples of statements of inequality. Statements of inequality are also considered as alternate hypothesis. Now, let us see some more statement. Delivery time of supplier 1 and supplier 2 are almost same. There is a difference, but I don't see that difference as significant. That means the delivery time is almost same. It is a statement of equality. Machine 1 and machine 2 produce parts almost at the same rate. This is again a statement of equality. Polling rate are almost same in both northern and southern region. This is again a statement of equality. Transaction time of vendors are almost same. Again, it's a statement of equality. All these four statements are statements of equality. Statements of equality are nothing but null hypothesis. Now, if you want to express the statement mathematically, for example, first statement, delivery time of supplier 1 and supplier 2 are almost equal. How can you write it mathematically? Delivery time of supplier 1 is equal to delivery time of supplier 2. When you express a statement in mathematical format, equation format, and if you can get an equal to symbol, definitely that is null hypothesis. Coming to the same example with the alternate, supplier 1 deliver faster than supplier 2. That means delivery time of supplier 1 is less than the delivery time of supplier 2. He consumes less time and then delivers. That's why we say supplier 1 is faster. Supplier 1, delivery time of supplier 1 is less than delivery time of supplier 2. Whenever you get less than or greater than symbol in your equation, the statement is alternate hypothesis. Hope you have clearly understood what is null and what is alternate and the difference between null and alternate. Null is statement of equality. Alternate is statement of inequality. Null is statement of impact. Sorry, null is a statement of no impact and alternate is statement of impact. And null is statement of no difference and alternate is statement of difference, isn't it? All right. So what is that we learned? Hypothesis testing is a decision-making procedure in which a claim about a difference is validated. Whether the difference what we observed in the experimentation, will it be an actual difference in the real life? So that question gets answered after the hypothesis testing, nothing but a small experimental study. Hypothesis testing is an experimental procedure to test whether the difference observed in the experimental study is a true difference in real life or not. Null hypothesis is a statement of no impact, is a statement of equality, is a statement of no difference, right? It's a statement of no difference, no impact, no difference, equality. Alternate hypothesis is a statement of impact, statement of inequality, and statement of difference. Null hypothesis is a statement made using the common knowledge. Alternate hypothesis is a statement made using the impact observed from an experimental study. Whatever we observed in the experimental study, and then we believe on it. And whatever the statement that supports what you observed in the experimental study, the difference what you observed in the experimental study, if you believe and then make a statement, that is actually alternate hypothesis. Hope the lessons are very clear. And between null hypothesis and then alternate hypothesis, please note, null hypothesis is a statement of no difference between the group. Null hypothesis is a statement of equality. Null hypothesis is a statement of no impact. Coming to alternate hypothesis is a statement of difference, a statement of inequality, a statement of impact between two or more groups, right? So thank you for watching this lesson, and I will meet you in another video with some more interesting tools.